Kwame na time na odi nkomo no.
Aye.
Na me hu say arts and culture on say adwen hu yi a Kwame. Ebetimi kra ma yesika more than Ghana be saying gold. If we were to declare Ghana say the hub of African culture and art, so just to bring all the cultural practices even around West Africa to Ghana. Now you magnify your culture now you want. And look, sometimes no, you can say ideas. You may have to put 6 or 7 people together for university researchers no. Bring them together with CSOs, not for finance, for kakaka, not for TV documentary makers, not for community for as advisor. Now call into conclave. Now how we can turn our culture into a viable product and Kofor will subscribe to and Kofor will buy. I bet you so as several as an opportunity to bring people into Ghana. Okay? Tourism, without doing much, it's about our third largest forex earner. Behind cocoa, your friend is saying. Gold.
William Zami Edma Ghana National Cultural Center as artistic and research officer.
So,
Ghana National Cultural Center Kumasi as an artistic and research officer.
Absolutely. So, but we should now turn all that research into a viable product that is marketable. Because even and some of us say and therefore they should be involved in Ghana. Say Nadi. But say money.
When my dear me call the Vatican City. Vatican Rome. Now I say and near mana a wohono. Sika womunya a day. The Vatican Museum. Ube back the Colosseum. And only at the Adiano. Womunya more than 400,000 euros a day.
Can you imagine, Kwame?
A day.
Can you imagine? And as I say, you know, Osha, African culture is on the rise. African music, Afrobeats is on the rise. Anything that is African based is on the rise, and it can be consumed. We can turn this into a massive economic gainer. Ghana, Africa, pride. Recently, me kind of say, you see, in the Caribbean, everything African is going through the roof. And Kofor are taking new pride in Africa because almost the culture is great, the music is fantastic. Whether it's Amapiano, it's Afrobeats, it's High Life. Now say who Nigerians be on TikTok. I must say, hey, Nasa Ghana, yeah, what the papa say? Several things. Internet say if we sit down and look at the trajectory of development now, you bet me a new baby, a massive uplift in terms of economy, in terms of economics, a big crowd now, yeah, more can be brave. Oh, it is said to me, may I sure say if you lead this advocacy, baby, bet me see, because maybe I want to, if we start thinking like that, the future will only be bright, and may I have absolute confidence in the fact that we can make something out of this coming.
Why you not
me events and guests at large into people. So they be ano when you say me tea, they be ano say me tea. Now law on the market order that you be a travesty if you don't become a lawyer.
Mati, me hear no magin ho pa. Why?
Me that's it. Na eyi kwame and that's and I mean now calls bebre say about social media so say Frimpong Kobunko to apa Kennedy Agyapong chow. Ewo wenchi.
Na ukopacha on.
Ebi o Kwame menkopacha. Kwame menkopacha. Na neme wa kra ne say honorable Kennedy Agyapong ba wenchi. And me as PC for 2024 MPP no. The campaign graciously gave me an opportunity to say menkasa. Nti menkasa na me say party no attempted the abem to do. Presidential primacy across so much, a friend is saying, disquiet between camps because we're too money way. No, we are too money way. And a party Nankasa no, yeah, dear Bako. Inti sa, we're too money way anyway. Yeah, now at the Bakuna and then come together because you come together and you between your form with the government in 2029. Na party for now when China Ghana in Ano. Meaning say and some Shomobo. Meaning say a buffo will nipa be brave. And inti me de topa kutujogu form and sadan sayam near a system of Ubunano. Yes, Remo, they should forgive us. I want to be bunkutoji, Kwame. To be bunkutoja, Mama and Sassano. And then we say, picture the buy and say, blog abuse, and why we not say, and your Kojo is connected. Now, Kojo is connected now, and America for Australia for I'm sure. I said, I'm not sanity. And the sanity, and I say, Honorable Agyapong campaign. Crown officially, I'm sure say they don't think say I'm working for them. I say, oh, I have to clear the air because sebi, even though I'm not working for them, no, it doesn't mean say I detest them and I hate them and I say I don't like them because in the end, no party me the bako. I'm devoted, absolutely devoted to the quest of Dr. Baumia to become president. Absolutely devoted, Kwame. And on 4 basic principles. Yeah. 1, Nijidi say repetition makes the president. And repetition is the key to winning the presidency in Ghana. Okay, Kwame, President Kofo repeated. President Atamils repeated. President Ekufuado repeated. President John Mahama repeated. Now, circumstances were different. President Mahama lost almost 1 million votes as sitting president, but he was repeated and he became president again. President Kufuor did not even cross 40% in his first attempt in 1996, but he was repeated and he became president. President Akufo-Addo, he went 3 times. In fact, he lost the court case. He lost by about 26,000 votes. He got repeated, and then he became president. President Atamils, on also 2000, he lost. 2004, he lost. And then 2008, he became president. If you say the underlying principle, and I said the underlying factor to becoming president in Ghana is a repetition. And my share, we say, repetition, it makes sense. It makes sense of 3 reasons. 1, Kwame has said, when you must you go and now day, who should say, Lubuana. I didn't know you must you go and who should say, why a campaign around the whole country? What could be when you Kofana catcher so you ever trauma? That's all now to say, it be a mistake now, young trauma, if we are. What by what pain into no Kwame? So what's that cool be you are? Namin Chadie, you are better placed to correct those mistakes. On the basis of that, no, Mimi say Honorable Agyapong and no Ben pain, and no Kubiwa, and I say Honorable Dr. Brian Champon, and no Ben pain, and no Kubiwa, and I say Honorable Dr. Duchum, and no Ben pain, and no Kubiwa, and I say Honorable Agyapong, and no Ben pain, and no Kubiwa, and I will back them. And don't you know, I back Dr. Mahamadou Baumia. Kwame, sometimes look.
Ayi, above Obi ebisa se. Omo ni Dr. Baumia ne second coming ni adwuma no. Question busa ne se. Mo kan say the 3 northern regions no wo beto wo mo nyina antimi anto. The Zongos who vote anto. Papa no we kremoni o mo anto. Enti the question busa say this time the DNA best son.
Kwame, question I would be some okay? In every election, the factors are different. There are extrinsic factors, there are intrinsic factors. There are factors from within, there are factors from without. there have been instances in elections Zongo communities and Tuamae. But the next round, the next situation, it is Tuamae. There have been instances in elections your projections uncle in 2008 there was absolutely no reason and we should have lost the 2008 elections. And so you can't use one outcome to say oh Sadia and Yembungu. Baby, and so make us say if Zongo community is not trauma, if Northern community is not trauma, now we understand better why they didn't vote, and therefore we will correct it, and we are better placed to correct it. Sign humanity. How many elections were went in 2019, 2020 for 2020 elections? How many? Midi third. But me tell you, I'm saying, I am man to me. We are man to me. Me teaching someone. I'm saying, Sadia, okay, the next election year went to 2023. If we are dwelt on the fact that some places didn't vote for me and therefore they should jettison me and I say they should get rid of me and cut the next outcome into me into some elections there you learn from when you fall. We teach some say and some way it's about it. Kwame me did say kusasa krana almost amount to my because Nkofo say amount to my because Nkofo say Dr. Maria Mampushino. Me did say if we work well there, then you explain issues so sure in 2028 it might actually become our World Bank and I might actually become one of the places that will flourish the most. One electoral defeat assigned to certain reasons does not mean say because that's why we have to correct it. Now you bear open you bet you be sometimes I give you a friend of positional equity and a positional integrity. Kwame, say from me one example. We call went to 2016 and go for 2019 and go for a Kojo Frimpong. One free went to gra. Go for takrade. In fact, I'm to me D class and me takrade Van Dam. I'm from a D Van Dam. Be my opponent to you. I go from Paul Fluency. Now Kojo Frimpong na abana obaka tema on forward for but almost share my hokeka after 2019 almost say when tia na meba me 4 grandparents in Afriwenchi me mama and papa in Afriwenchi don't say when tia na meba when she baby when she baby am dimbi it is sa next campaign I hear primary no sa campaign no anyejuma because among positional integrity and now positional authority sometimes it takes time for the public to trust you. Sometimes it takes time for the public to assess you. Who say, Baumia cry, say, on cano cray, and I say, and no crow. I'm so Baumia, not some other Baumia cano. I'm so no crow me by and just at time. So, and looking at free SHS, no matter how life changing it was, we had to take it to elections 3 times. As I'm conforming to say, win and Nippon Pasoy. Into sometimes public space difficult to track. I mean, so I said, why a radio bear? So because 25 years, I'm conforming calculation the beba. Why a radio bear 15 years? For first 5 years of radio, no. Now go for crying in say, oh you brutal sir. It hasn't changed much.
Debbie.
But if you the consistency, the vast knowledge available.
What is that? Me bank crank no. No, I move visa. That be school cramming COVID.
So
because with that unadulterated tree, no.
But over time, let me say we are wrong about crime because public space, no. The public space is first filled with skepticism. People are skeptics or are skeptic about the public space. The first over public space we don't kind of credit. We do tantrum. But over time, no, they are able to assess reflection no more say papa we are small cano e no correct yam fan channel ne en try ne e bia ono no betumi de change na ye no aba aba kwa me sometimes
ma make ba akokura who say yentam fa guest in my studio. Yes, me say I am time for guest in my studio. Via telephone. Yes, we be so emfa.
So, say Obian will say the fact that you are able to get people on the phone, amount to be doing come and so guest back over to now 1 hour. No quality or no monopolizing radio. No, nothing come up as what didn't cross also discussing agenda be.
Aye.
I want to say. So you know, that's what making and Kojo Kojo no channel because message show no. So the public space, the skepticism about the public space, no, it takes time for people to trust you, and it applies to politics as well. Until I so be bad first, like I say, oh, that's where the after I say, you know, say, into a social construct. I want public space. You can't do anything about it. Until so first, that's the public doesn't trust you up. And also the public doesn't give you their voter. And not just say, Sebe, or would test one answer, over be one, or more farmer. And okay, sometimes wrong. When you act the things that you say, you act like a president, you show leadership. You can see me now, public who say, Papa, if we entrust the government into his hands, if we entrust the country into his hands, or bet me, I and see, Kwame Meno, they be a cassette. The party ne yade bako sebe me wenchi me 2 elections na me ni na nkofo bi ho no ma they neither voted for me in the first or the second obi o kra second one kra no pese obu ben nkofo but enne kwame enne me ne san nkofo ne nam de bia me ne omo ne nam sometimes no say if me ni obi afa and no say sebe I should attract this hate and and now say, I should detect the person. That's not the way it works. Politics and kisa, namely, Mr. Politics, when Kuala Jane say, and then if you are not Kwame teacher say, and but what now do say, circumstances say, Mene Kwame, and yet Juma. Now, some I did Kwame at them, my deal Kokosa, if you come a Kokani, you have them, and I might say, how do I work with Kwame in that regard? So, you know, me, Jin, say, Sabi. The fact say I don't prefer Ken and I say I don't prefer another person to Dr. Baoyam means say I should be a loggerhead to them, Debbie. But mainly I am devoted to working for Dr. Baumia because Mijidi said he represents our best effort, our best chance at winning the 2028 elections. Ultimately, no, Kwame, it is the delegates who will decide. But maybe my camp is with Dr. Baumia. And also, Mamenka I've listened to Dr. Baina Champon. Incredible ideas in terms of his Frimpong agenda. When you listen to Ken's industrial agenda, it's phenomenal. But that is why he's competing. That is not why he should be president. That is why he's competing because he has ideas. A friend is saying that is why Brian is competing because he has a certain approach. That is why Dr. Baumia is also competing because he also has different ideas. And when your ideas are developed at that level now, you deserve the right to compete. But ultimately, it is the delegates who will decide. But I think, in my singular opinion, I feel, Dr. Baumia, because he's been there, he's run around the country, he's tried to do this, it didn't go as we projected. I feel he's better placed to be the one that represent back to battle. So, into no Kwame, and then no question we could today pa Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. So, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong will push your man, a big man. Kebikran Kwame Kabana, Kebikran more radio stations there. Into no Oyobia, I revere Honorable Baina Champon, but in this context, I'm working for Honorable for Vice President Dr. Muhammadu Baumia, and inshallah, 2029, Dr. Baumia will be named President of the Republic of Ghana. It's Kwame, but that's so I want to say Konya na a course ebano na masubu. Na masubu. Ufemi ana wa obi sa me sa tem we na na me te me da se pa ji show na na ekono etwagu
me da se pa bye obuafo Kojo Frimpong
Citizen TV, Accra, Ghana. Citizen TV, the citizen's power.